Bev again with another video. Now my voice isn't going to sound as good because, I've had a cold for a few days. And that's why I didn't make a video. But anyway, today's video is on carbonated sodas. And first of all, what are they, right? And I don't care whether they're regular or diet sodas, but they contain dissolved carbon dioxide and a bunch of other stuff, right? But the dissolved carbon dioxide actually becomes gas in your stomach, and that can cause belching and bloating, and that's just to accommodate the gas, right? But why don't I ever drink them? And I don't care if they're sweetened with sugar or whether they're sweetened with artificial synthetic sweeteners, okay? So sugar is going to erode your tooth enamel, right? We've known that since we were kids. But with soda pop, it's not only the sugar, but it's the acid. A bottle of soda pop can have anywhere from 7 to 10 spoons of sugar in it. Now, can you imagine eating 10 spoons of sugar? But anyway, that sugar gets turned into fat by your liver. And so you drink a lot of pop, you're going to have a lot of excess body fat. And you can start developing insulin resistance. Now, if you go over to this synthetic sweetener side, now it's a bit controversial what I'm going to say, but I always figure, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? Certainly, it tastes sweet, right? In fact, some people say it tastes sweeter than the sugar-sweetened pop. But anyway, your body, when it tastes something sweet in your mouth, it doesn't care where that sweetness comes from, but it thinks glucose is coming, right? So it gets ready for the glucose, and it makes more insulin to cope with that glucose. But lo and behold, there's no glucose arriving in your system, and suddenly there's too much insulin kicking around in your body and no glucose to match it with. So, you can get too much insulin, right? Insulin is a metabolic hormone. It is indeed a fat-making hormone. You can end up with, as I say, insulin resistance on both sides, whether it's sugar or artificial sweeteners, and that can lead to type 2 diabetes. Okay, I cover that kind of thing, much more detail in that in my book. But another controversial thing about carbonation is that it can rob your body, your bones, that is, of calcium. Why? Because cola, for example, has phosphorus, which increases the calcium loss in your body through your kidneys. Now, certainly you can drink sparkling water. I'm talking about cola and stuff like that. You can drink sparkling water because it's certainly carbonated. It's made from CO2 gas, but there's no phosphorus involved, right? And there's no sugar, there's no acid, there's no salt, there's no synthetic chemicals, right? So that's fine. But what I want to say about this bone mineral business, your body wants to be in a slightly alkaline, non-acidic state. That's your pH level. To buffer acidity, which is a big no-no if you're trying to lose weight, you don't want to be acidic. That's in my book as well. Your body needs it wants to alkalize itself with calcium, phosphorus, and magnesium, right? That buffers acidity. And 99% of your calcium is in your bones. It's stored in your bones. 50% of your magnesium is in your bones, and 20% of your potassium is in your bones. And you need all of that to be alkalized. But carbonation is going to steal calcium, and if it can't get it elsewhere, it's going to go to your bones, right? So if your body is constantly trying to balance itself against high acidity, then you're continually weakening your bone mineral content. So you're going to have not as good bone density. Osteo, anybody? Especially if you're older, all right? And I should say before I get away from that, if you want to alkalize, then you have to eat less sugar, less red meat, fewer processed grains and refined food, and obviously fewer carbonated sodas, okay? And the last thing I just want to mention is the ghrelin hormone, which is the hunger hormone. And believe it or not, when you drink carbonated sodas, your ghrelin hormone is increased 6 times more than it is with water. Well, are you surprised that carbonated colas make you hungry? Anyway, I'm just going to read one of my footnotes in my book, okay? I love this footnote. I've read arguments on both sides. Some say that carbonation has no effect on bone health, while others say that your bone mineral content, specifically calcium, pardon my voice, is negatively affected by it, as is tooth enamel. Honestly, I don't know what study to trust, and have done enough reading to imagine that the soda pop industry promoting themselves by having paid for any research that solely supports their products, right? Like my ancient ancestors, I just don't drink anything carbonated. See you in the next video. Bye for now.